This is the ultimate guide to changing your oil at home with really high quality oil for all B58 Supras. Per request from my tuner, we have a different viscosity, which we'll touch on in a bit. We have all the tools necessary, keeping things as clean as possible, doing it on the ground, and we'll even talk about what do we do with the excess old oil when we're done with it. I know there's one of you where this will be your first time changing your oil at home and you haven't even thought about it yet. What do I do with the oil when I'm done with it? There's a really easy solution we'll touch on at the end, and those two tools over there on the side that are blurred out that editor Justin is gatekeeping from you right now, I'm going to show you what those are in the process. They're two tools that I use every single time I change oil that I want to share with you that I believe most people have not bought yet or don't even know about. Drain pan, funnel, working gloves, oil, Toyota filter, O-rings, crush washer, torque wrench, not absolutely necessary but ideal, an extension, 1.25" socket, 17mm socket, some gloves to keep oil off of our hands, and a microfiber to clean off. Per request from my tuner, Marin, we run a 5W40 oil. He said he's had tons of good results with running a thicker viscosity oil in the B58s. So we're gonna do that. Let's talk about this can and show you up close though. This is 300V from Motul. This is their competition oil. I am spoiled because they have been a long time supporter of the channel. They blessed me with an abundant amount of oil and the highest end stuff to show you. They have a carbon fiber can, the handle on top. This stuff is really cool. When I get done with it, I'll probably put it on the shelf just to have as a little decoration. 7 quarts total. This stuff is a little pricey and it's totally unnecessary for your street car. It's great for competition use, extra heat, all of the above. But I'm gonna have linked below a different series 5W40 from Motul that's plenty high quality for your street car to push it to its limits. I wouldn't even stress. This is gonna be more cost effective and still insanely high quality. 7 quarts of this. Oil is very heavy, so when you see things sold in bulk online, the oil specifically, it's to combat shipping fees for you. So you might not want to buy a couple oil changes worth, but it might be the most cost-effective thing. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're shopping around for oil online to have shipped to your house, especially specialty oil like this that I recommend. Stand behind. Been with Motul forever, and I've seen many race cars in real life running this stuff. So why wouldn't I run it in my fun car? Make sure and turn your e-brake on. Pull up and hold until that light is red. Putting my working gloves on. If you've never had a set or a pair of Maxi Flex, these are the best. I'll have them linked down in the description as well. These cars only have a single jack point. Thanks, BMW. So we have to do things a little unorthodox in my opinion. Put 3 blocks under here. You can definitely get those ramps. I just don't have any. That's why I'm using blocks. This is an excessive amount of space, but it's gonna be comfortable. You know what? I'm just gonna leave the jack here as extra safety. Now we're gonna pull the lever twice, German cars. Once, twice for the release. Being careful what I touch black paint wise with my gloves. Don't want to scratch the paint. Make sure I don't hit the hood on anything. Pull the cover off. Easy peasy. Pull off this cap, set it up like that. Let's air flow through the top to let the oil drain smooth out the bottom. Slide our catcher. Get my creeper ready. So way deep in here, we twist this and this will come out, and then we have access to the 17mm drain bolt. How nice of BMW to make us not take that off. So here's where one of my tools comes in. I'm gonna break it loose with my 17mm, and then this right here, this tool, it grabs the bolt head, and when you twist it, which mine's actually like worn out, when you twist it, it'll actually loosen it, and then your finger's not near it to get full of oil. It's hand loose, so I'm taking my specialty tool. This is preferable to do when your oil is warm. Make sure you verify that the crush washer came off with it and it's not still stuck on the bottom of the block. That would be bad. I'm I'm gonna let that drain. Inside the Toyota box, we got the filter, we have the new O-ring and a crush washer. I'm gonna take this back down there with me. Old crush washer gone, new one on. This will be ready to go. We're down to a drip. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off, push my pan out of the way, put the rag on the ground below it so it drips on there, not the floor. And then sneak the bolts back in. Wipe the excess oil off. And then tighten 25 Newton meters. I'll have the conversion to foot-pounds on screen if you need it. If you don't have a torque wrench and you don't have the money, don't stress. It's just snug. It's like you have it tight and then you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go a little more. If you do exactly to spec, it's like, oh, I don't have to go that tight. It will stay on. It will be fine. Take this, line up the little pucks, push up, and that pops in there like that. Good to go. Grab your tools and oil. Now we're gonna go hunting for the oil filter right here. 1.25" socket. Got a little extension on it. It's almost at the perfect angle, like they designed it that way. And then this is plastic, so it's gonna screw off, kind of rough. I'm gonna get a rag in there. The rag is basically below it, like so. 1.25" is a little bit rare of a socket, so if you don't have one, I'll have it linked in the description. I had to buy a separate one myself. This is here. Remember these gloves I never used? Let's use them. I'm gonna pull the filter out, kind of clips in. The other tool I didn't mention was this O-ring seal puller tools. The tip of it is just round. I use this for door panels, all kinds of plastic trim. And then of course, O-ring seals makes it light work to get them out without destroying it. So that main one out. There is another seal here. Just verify that it's there on the new one. You don't need to replace it because it comes on the new one. So I'm gonna throw this away. I'll open this just to get it ready. You'll see the new filter. That O-ring is there. But this new O-ring, I'm gonna get a little bit of oil, kind of just light film coat. Now I'm gonna push this on. Some cars, these are a pain. My brother's Mini Cooper was a pain recently, but that was really easy to get on. Now we're gonna take the smaller end of the two, push it in here until it makes that sound, and this is ready to go. Fold this in half, get the oil off the table. I'm gonna clean the housing so I can touch it with my other gloves. Make sure I don't have the microfiber in there. Make sure I don't cross thread this. If the socket is skipping, it's because you don't have the socket all the way seated because it needs to be at that angle. I just noticed it started to walk off and it was spinning. That was my fault. So now I'm gonna leave the extension on there. And this is 25 Newton meters as well. Not very tight. Snug, not tight. Take the lid off, set my funnel here, use my tool again. I'll use almost both of these. 7 quarts. 5.28 quarts in this. There's our even pour. It was just spitting. So this is a little extra, so I'm gonna leave some in this one. Put the lid back on, put the cover back on, line up the oil fill cap. That's it. Now I'm gonna fire it up and make sure it's all good. The engine has to be running for 30 minutes to check the level. So I'm gonna put it back on the ground. Let's get this thing out of here so I can clean up. Vehicle status, engine oil level. Car's been on long enough, let's measure it. It revs the car up a little bit to about 11, a little over 1,000 RPM. Engine level okay. Got the little graph on the side over here. We're looking good. So when it's off, 1, 2, 3. So apparently if the clock isn't set right, it doesn't work. Oh, time zone, Phoenix. We're still in diagnostic mode, so I'm gonna hold down the button. Reset possible, I'm gonna hold down again. Reset, question mark, holding down again. Reset in progress. Reset successful. I'm gonna use my trip meter. When this hits 3,000 miles, I'm gonna go ahead and change it again. I'm personally a little bit crazy, and this isn't my main car. My 2004 Silverado is, so I'm gonna change the oil in this every 3,000. If this was my daily driver, I would totally put regular Motul in it and do every 5,000. Even with 5,000, with the fully synthetic oil, you're way on the safe side, and you're totally good. Let's go back to the garage, clean up. I'll show you how I clean up to get everything not oily at all. Then I'll show you what to do with your oil, because my container is full and I need to get rid of it. So this is what I have because I have a lift outside. This is what you would preferably buy as an oil catcher. I'll leave one in the description. You can buy one from your auto parts store too. But there's a cap on this side to empty it and then one on top. And that way you could put this in your car, keep everything clean. And I'm gonna show you how to clean this so you would be able to put it in your car and then go drain this. Preferably you have a truck, but that's not always the case. I've been there. So I'm gonna get my oil. I'm gonna let that sit for a while. Might as well drain my dirt bike one while I'm at it. So how do you clean this? To the point you would literally put this in the trunk of your nice car. It's called investing in brake cleaner. You can buy it by the box. I believe it's cheaper at O'Reilly's. Watch how fast this oil goes bye-bye. This is pretty big, so I blow through this faster than I'd like, but small price to pay to get something literally clean, like brand new again, from something as gross as motor oil. Then I just take a rag and wipe it down. Good as new. A little bit of this on the floor goes a long way too. You're gonna pull up to your local O'Reilly's or AutoZone. I'm a little comfortable at mine, so I just go straight to the back door because I know them. So you can go inside or go to the back like this once you become friends with them. Any spills? I live so close to mine, I didn't even want to put a lid in here. So if you didn't know, oil recyclers come and empty these things, and I'm pretty sure they pay O'Reilly's to pick it up because they make money when they recycle it. So you don't even have to feel guilty or anything like that for disposing of it the proper way or at someone else's place. If you enjoyed this quick tutorial and you haven't modified the Supra with me yet, you're gonna wanna check out this right here where we do a tune, put ethanol in it, and put a downpipe on the car. This thing is a monster. I'll see you over here.